Hola, me llamo Jenny. I'm Head of Modern Foreign Languages here at Godalming College, and I just wanted to talk to you a bit about the importance of a language. The A-level course fosters a variety of very transferable skills. So you would have, for instance, communication skills, the academic rigor that the A-level brings in, then of course translating into the foreign language and into your own language. The essays would bring the critical thinking part. So you do have a lot of transferable skills if you do a modern foreign language at the college.
Hi, I'm Callum and I'm studying Spanish, English language and politics. Why did I choose to study Spanish? I really enjoyed Spanish at GCSE and I thought that picking it as one of my 3 A-levels would be something really fun to do and also just expand what I know about languages and my skills and allow me to continue on to do it at university.
Hi, I'm Ella. Estudio Español. Well, I chose to study French and Spanish at a secondary school for GCSE, and everyone kind of thought that that was going to be really difficult. And then I really enjoyed them both, and I didn't have many issues doing them both, and I thought I really loved them, and I didn't want to stop languages at A-level, and so I already knew I wanted to do Spanish definitely, but then I knew how much I loved French, so I chose that as well. Yeah, I mean, they're exactly the same course. So I've actually found that really helpful because the mark schemes are the exact same. The language is the only thing that changes. All the exams are the same and the teaching is very similar, so that's really helpful.
A language at A-level is highly regarded both by universities and by employers. In fact, Barack Obama says, if you have a foreign language, that is a powerful tool to get a job. When thinking of progression, an A-level in a modern foreign language can be studied in combination with any other subject. Beyond A-level, you can do the language on its own at degree level, or you can also combine it with various other subjects such as business, marketing, leisure and tourism, law, and various other subjects. International employers seek people with a modern foreign language, and often they would prefer to employ someone who has a language than someone who doesn't. In order to be accepted on the course at Godalming College, you need to have achieved at least a 6 at GCSE in the language. That's to make sure that you've got the foundations that you need to be able to tackle A-level. You will be assessed through an exam at the end of the 2 years of the course. There are 3 papers. Paper 1 is the listening and reading comprehension and the translations. Paper 2 is an essay on the literature and the film that we study. And paper 3 is the speaking. Now, the speaking is a stimulus card on one of the topics that we study and an individual research project which is on a topic that you can choose. So for the course overview, the A-level in a foreign language is really interesting because we learn the language through the very interesting topics on the 12 units of the course. We also learn the vocabulary and the grammar through the film and the literature, and of course with the individual research topic. Therefore, it's a variety of subjects all rolled into one. You get a bit of sociology, a bit of politics, history, art, music, and it's really interesting to learn the language via all these topics, which is very different to GCSE, where you learnt the vocabulary first and then you learnt to apply it. In the first year, the topics that we do are aspects of Hispanic society. So that's more on the sociology side. We look at families, we look at the positive and the negative influences of social media on young people. There's a unit on equal rights, women's rights, as well as LGBTQ+ rights. Then we look at the influence of sporting personalities, of film stars, of models, on young people. And of course, we have to look at regional identity in Spain and all the fiestas that they do so well. In that first year, we also study a film, which is Volver by Pedro Almodóvar. And the literature that we study is a play, La Casa de Bernarda Alba, by Federico García Lorca. In the second year, the topics are a bit more complex because you will have already developed the language skills that you need. So we'll be discussing politics, we'll be discussing topics like immigration, racism, and how refugees and immigrants integrate into Spanish society. In terms of the political aspects of life in Spain and in Latin America. We look at dictatorships, where we've got quite a few of them in Spain and in Latin America. We also look at the Spanish monarchy, and we also have a look at what things in politics interest young people. So hopefully it will be something that interests you as well.
What I enjoy most about the course is the fact that we get to speak Spanish in the classroom. Nearly all the teaching is conducted in Spanish. And also we have weekly conversation sessions, which is 45 minutes in the target language on a variety of topics. And that's, I think, my favourite thing about the course is the immersion aspect.
For me, the best thing about the course is I love English literature, and we get to study in Spanish we do a play, and studying a film was really interesting as well because you don't get to do that at GCSE, so it was nice because it felt like I didn't really lose English literature, I still get to do that. As well, the speaking is really interesting because the stuff you talk about, they're really fascinating topics, stuff like immigration and politics and all sorts of things, so you really learn a lot about the country and the culture. It's not just about being able to speak the language, you have to be able to have an opinion about things that are almost controversial sometimes, so that's really interesting.
When considering Spanish A-level, some students are a little bit concerned about the jump from GCSE. Yes, there is a jump. However, if you think about it, you're narrowing your subjects down to only 3. So you do have the time to spend picking up that language, and you will be surprised at how quickly you advance. We put on workshops so that if you are struggling at all, we've got lunchtime workshops that can support you. And also we will advise you on where you can find the resources to do the 50-50. And of course, the 50-50 is so important for learning a language. The amount of time you spend in the classroom should equal the amount of time you spend in individual study. And of course, we will be giving you all the resources that you need, the websites that you need to be able to do that extra learning that you need. The skills you'll be needing to work on are your listening skills. So we advise you on what podcasts, what news, websites you can be listening to. You need to be reading. So there will be magazines, again, newspapers, and of course you need to practice your grammar and the translations and anything that we do in the lessons. And of course, try and speak as much as you can. The real key to success is that you involve yourself right from the start. In the Spanish department, we're 3 teachers and we're all native speakers from South America. So that is really advantageous in terms of our cultural awareness as well as the language.
What are the teachers like? So we have 3 teachers, so one main teacher, Jenny, and then Yenny and Monica, who do conversation classes, and Yenny teaches first year, and they're really lovely. They're like, any questions you have, they'll answer. They're funny, and we talk a lot, and especially because of the classes happen in Spanish, the vast majority of the class happens in Spanish, having native speakers being your teachers is, I think, really, really helpful, and it means that you just get so much organic, natural feeling practice, and yeah, that's thanks to the teachers.
The teaching staff is great in both languages. The lessons are really engaging, everyone's really friendly, and I think the culture in the lessons is really good as well. Nobody, the environment, nobody judges if you mispronounce a word and stuff, and the teachers, they correct you but politely, they don't mock you in the language, so it's very welcoming and friendly. The teachers are really good at explaining things, quite complicated grammar rules. They're all really good at helping us understand sort of all the different nuances, so yeah.
Results are consistently excellent. There are trips abroad. However, we link up with an agency who does the organisation of them for us. So that's advantageous because students can choose where they want to go and when they want to go, and also the type of experience they want. So students who take up the offer of going to Spain with the agency find that their confidence in the language increases hugely, so we really do encourage that.
After I finished at Godalming College, I got an offer to study Spanish and linguistics at the University of Edinburgh.
After college, I'm planning on going to university to study Spanish. I might do French as well. I'm still kind of making my decisions. There's also the option to study Spanish with a bit of French on the side, so who knows. And then after that, I want to have languages involved in my job or possibly work abroad, anything like that. But I've really left it all out in the open, and that's partly why I wanted to choose languages because they don't streamline you into a career path in the same way as many things do.
I hope this really helps to give you an idea of how we do Spanish here at Godalming College. Muchas gracias y hasta luego.